Welcome back to Fairyqueen Talks, where we unpack life, love, and the illusions we've been sold, so we can all live a little closer to our happily ever after. Now, let's talk about this economy, because this economy is not playing with us. For those of us outside of the 1%, really outside of that mythical group who never have to check their bank accounts, this moment is forcing a deep, sometimes uncomfortable re-evaluation. A re-evaluation of how we allocate our resources, not just to survive, but to actually live well, to live happily, to live intentionally. And I keep asking myself, is it really worth it? Is this worth my energy? Is that worth my money? Is the life I'm building aligned with what I say I value or just what I've been conditioned to chase? When money is abundant, it's easy to avoid those questions. Convenience covers a lot of confusion. But when you're strapped for cash, when disposable income becomes very limited, every decision starts to carry weight. What you spend on suddenly matters more. What you don't spend on matters even more. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, I think this economy is forcing us into real conversations. Conversations many of us have been postponing for years. Because where we put our money signifies what we value, what we prioritize, what we believe will bring us comfort, joy, peace, or meaning. And when you're only left with a certain amount of disposable income, what you consider disposable says a lot about who you are and who you are becoming. I was thinking about this while watching the TV series Harlem. Without spoiling anything, there is a moment where a character is forced into a very honest conversation about motherhood. And what stood out to me wasn't just the topic, it was how she arrived at her truth through sisterhood, through reflection, through confronting herself without hiding behind excuses, timing, or hypothetical versions of life. She had to ask herself what she truly wanted, not what she was expected to want. And that's what this economy is doing to us. It's stripping away the fluff, the distractions, the I'll deal with it later. It's asking us right now in real time, what do you actually need? What do you actually want? And what are you willing to let go of to get there? Now, I can't relate to the 1%. I don't know what it's like to have unlimited funds. But even then, money still tells a story. What the wealthiest people spend their money on also signifies what they seek. Is it connection, validation, importance, legacy, escape? Money at its core is a tool, it's access to resources. And in this economy, that truth is louder more than ever. So the question becomes, what are the resources you truly can't live without? Is it peace? Is it community, creativity, rest, safety? Is it freedom? Because here's the thing, so many of the most essential resources are priceless. They don't actually require money, they require honesty. If what you want is connection, you don't need to buy it. You need to be vulnerable. If what you want is love, you don't need luxury. You need courage. If what you want is fulfillment, you don't need excuses. You need self awareness. And self awareness is everything right now and it's everything forever. You have to know yourself well enough to identify what truly matters to you. Because if you don't, this economy will decide for you. You'll end up spending your limited resources chasing things that were never aligned to you in the first place. So maybe this moment isn't about lack. Maybe it's about clarity. Maybe the economy is exposing us, not shaming us, but teaching us. Teaching us where we've been living on autopilot, teaching us where we've been outsourcing our happiness, teaching us where we've been confusing survival with success. And instead of resisting that exposure, what if we embraced it? What if we learned from it? What if we got more creative, especially when money isn't stretching the way it used to? Creativity doesn't just live in art, it lives in problem solving, in reimagining joy, in redefining what enough looks like for you. Because happily ever after doesn't come from having everything, it comes from knowing what's essential and choosing it again and again. So, wherever this economy is pressing on you, wherever it's revealing discomfort, desire, or truth, pay attention. There's wisdom there, there's freedom there, and there just might be a more authentic happily ever after waiting on the other side. Thank you so much for listening to Fairyqueen Talks. Until next time, I want to remind you that even in uncertain times, magic is still available when you're honest enough to see it.